Hello everybody, it's Anubhuti Mishra here. In the previous video, we have already studied about the landless laborers, the primary, secondary and tertiary livelihood. Now we are going to study about the middle class labor, the middle level farmer and the mid level farmer. The landless labor farmer we have already studied into the previous video. The cycle of debt we have already studied into that. Now we are going to study about the middle level farmer. What are the middle level farmer? Okay, Ram Singh is a character of a middle level farmer or a small farmer. He owns a small plot of land. Ram Singh is a small farmer who had owned a small plot of land. During the harvest season, all his family members help him in the field. During the harvest season, all the members of the family help him into doing the farming or into the harvest season, help him into doing the farming. But at the time, he takes the help of agricultural laborers. But when with the family, if he needs some more people, then he take the help of the agricultural laborers. When the harvest is good, Ram Singh is able to make the good profit. When the harvest is good, then Ram Singh, which is a character of a middle level farmer, make the good profit. But when the harvest is not very good, when the harvest is not so good and much of what he produces is used for the home and he is not able to earn much money, earn much profit from that, then as a result, in the next season, if the harvest is not good and he is not able to make the profit with that, and the produced ones is used into his house, into his home, then as a result, in the next season, what the Ram Singh do? Ram Singh take the loan from another farmer, another big farmer, take with the interest and with a money lender or a trader in the village to buy the seed, fertilizer and other things which he wants into doing the agriculture. After the harvest to pay back the loan, he is forced to sell his crop. He is forced to sell his crop by the money lender and the trader into the cheap price, into the lower price. He have to sell his produced ones to the trader and the money lender from whom he had taken the money, from whom he had taken the loan. So he have to pay. If he is not able to pay the money which he had taken, then what he have to do? He have to give his produced ones into the lower price. He have to sell his produced one into the lower price to that money lender or to the trader. During the non-harvest season, Ram Singh worked at the sugar mill. In the non-harvest season, what the Ram Singh do? Ram Singh work in the sugar mill to earn some extra money and to do the payment of the money lender or the trader. Next, what about the big farmers? This one is we have already studied about the landless farmer, farmers. Second one is middle level farmer, farmers. Third one is big farmers. Landless farmers who don't have their own land, they are depending on the other person's land for doing the agriculture and to earn the money from them. Middle level farmers who have the land, who have their own land, but into the small quantity, means a particular plot is earned by them, is taken by them, and on a small plot they have to do the agriculture on that. I'm sorry for this. And the last one is big farmer. What about the big farmer? Big farmer, obviously they don't need anything from another person. They have all the facilities. They have the 20 hectares or more than that of the land, and well number of cows whose milk he sell into the market. The big farmer have the cows by which whose milk is able to sell into the market. Then during the harvest season, Manu Singh is a character of the big farmer. He have his own 20 hectares of land. He have the cows whose milk he can sell into the market. During the harvest season, he employs many agricultural laborers to work on his field. He employed many landless laborers or agricultural laborers into his own field. Next, Manu Singh lived in a huge house in a village. His house is equipped with modern amenities and electronical appliances. He doesn't have any type of lack of anything. Okay, he doesn't have any type of lack of anything, and he have all the appliances into his house. He have all the electrical appliances which the modern facility, the all modern facility he have into his house. Next, such as refrigerator, color television, microwaves, everything, whatever the electrical appliances is available into the market is available into his house, the same household things. His children study into the big school of the city. His children is able to study into the big school of the city, and every day the children travel to and from school in their father's car. In their father cars, the children are going to school, and while every season the harvest depends on some natural factors. We can say that the harvest is always depend on the natural factors. Sometimes the natural conditions is so good for the harvest, and sometimes the natural conditions not for good for the harvest. So the big farmers don't have any lack of these type of things. They don't have any type of tension of that. Next thing, while every season will depend on some natural factors, Manu Singh is able to make handsome profit of an area of land he owns a huge. Means by doing the harvest, he earns so much profit, and he is able to purchase more land and do the harvest on that also. So Manu Singh sometimes act as a money lender. Manu Singh, he is a big farmer, then he act as a money lender also, and farmer borrow money from him to buy seeds. Farmers borrow money from him to buy the seed. Okay, to buy the seed, the landless farmers or the middle level farmer, what they do, they borrow the money from the big farmer to purchase the seed, the fertilizers and other agricultural tools, and implements whatever they want to purchase for their agricultural field. Into the harvest season, they take the money from that big farmer and purchase the things. Next, Manu Singh also owns some shops. Manu Singh, obviously he is a big farmer of the village. Then he have his own shops into the market of the village. The sugar cane that he grows in the field is sold into the local sugar mill, and he is able to make a profit from there too. Okay, he have his shops into the market. From there he can do the profit. He can get the profit from there also. And into the sugarcane mill, he sells the sugarcane which he has produced into his own field, and from that factory he also get the profit from it. So This is the ability, this is the capability of the big farmer. Now we are going to study about the fishing. What is fishing and how it is the major occupation of the coastal people. Fishing is a major occupation of the people living in the coastal region, in the coastal areas such as the western coastal areas and the eastern coastal areas. Mostly people is depending on the fishing. Fishing is the main occupation of them. In fact, along the coastal areas we can find rows and rows of villages where fishermen reside. Into the coastal areas we can find the rows of the village where the fishermen survive and where the fishermen live. Generally, the men go to the fishing. Generally, into the coastal areas, we can see that the men go for the fishing and on the fishing boat early in the morning. And what the work of the woman over there? The woman sells the fish. Sometimes fish are brought in bulk and from the fishermen and then sold into the local market of the village and the cities. The women store the selling of the fishes into the market and market of the village or the cities. Life of the fisherman. What is the life of the fisherman? Life of the fisherman is very tough. Means they have to depend on the weather. They have to whatever the weather is, they have to depend on that. If they don't have any type of occupation except fishing, then what they can do? They can do laboring work or at the construction site or any other work. But some fishermen have the occupations only in this fishing. Sometimes while in the sea, the fishermen are caught in storm. How the life is tough of the fishermen. Sometimes they are depending on the weather, and sometimes if the weather condition is not good, then the fishermen are caught in storm. When there is rough weather, they are warned against going out for the fishing. When the weather is rough, they are warned by the local police to not go for the fishing. Moreover, fishing cannot happen during the breeding season of the fish. During the breeding season of the fish, fishing cannot take place. They can't do the fishing. They are not allowed to do the fishing. In those times, they depend on various other odd jobs to earn a livelihood. In those times, what they do? They depend on the other odd jobs which they can do by selling the vegetables or by doing work into the construction site. These are the jobs which is done by the fishermen. After if there is no any main of earning, so they do the other odd job. A large number of fishermen risk their lives and go out for fishing even during bad weather. Even during bad weather, what do the fishermen do? They go out for the fishing. They go out for the fishing into the large number of fishermen risk their life and go out for the fishing during the bad weather unless they catch the fish. They go into the bad weather to earn for their earning. It would be difficult for them to survive, but they have to do because this is the main source of income for them. Sometime caught into the cyclone, many of them lose their lives. Sometime the fishermen caught into the cyclone, after giving the warning, they go for the fishing. They don't listen to warning, they go for the fishing, and what happen? They may caught into the cyclone and many of them lose their lives. Even the modern fishing boat can get submerged during powerful cyclones. Modern fishing boats also get submerged during the powerful cyclone. During 2004 tsunami, into the tsunami which has come into the 2004, into the year of 2004, a large number of villages along the coastal areas inhabited by fishermen were totally destroyed. A large number of area which was inhabited by the fishermen were totally destroyed into the tsunami which was caused in the year 2004. Next one, what is the other mean of livelihood? This one is fishing. Fishing is the livelihood of this is the occupation of the people of the coastal area. Agriculture is the occupation basically of the village people. The agriculture is the main occupation. We have studied the primary, secondary. The secondary level is fishing, primary is agriculture. Now we are going to study about the tertiary level. Okay, sorry, secondary level. Then after that we will study about the tertiary level. Then the tertiary level, I have already told you that the banking, teaching, medical facilities, doctors, engineers, legal facilities, legal services. These are the services included into the tertiary. And in this chapter, we are studying the primary level of occupation and the secondary level of the occupation in India. Next one is other mean of livelihood. We have studied agriculture, we have studied fishing. Now we are going to study about the other mean of livelihood into the village area. Apart from agriculture, people in the village have many type of livelihood. In the village area, we can say that for surviving, for habitat, for their particular habitat, for the surviving or for the earning of the money, they have too many things to do, and many kinds of livelihood is performed by them. Many kind of livelihood pursued by the people in the area depending on the physical features of that area, as well as the availability of the raw material. These type of things are done by the village people. These are the main things of the livelihood by the village people. The kind of livelihood pursued by the people, the livelihood which is pursued by the people is depending on the physical feature of that area, as well as the availability of the raw material which is available in that area. Okay, for example, making of small things such as out of core of the occupation of many people living in the areas where coconut trees are abundant. Where coconut trees are abundant, they can make the coir and can sell it to the market. Where next one is people is also engaged from the forest. From the forest, people is also engaged such as collecting fruit and firewood from the forest, weaving, blacksmith selling good, blacksmithing, selling goods in the shop, carpentering, and teaching. Teaching are some other occupations that people choose to earn livelihood. People choose to earn their livelihood. Similarly, some people are engaged in animal husbandry and some work as laborer. Some people are engaged in animal husbandry, means to pet the animals, and for shopping, for selling their products into the market. Next, and some people are included into the laborers. They are laborers. They do the laboring work, and while some are involved in small time trading, means selling bangles or selling cups or selling cloths. These type of small works done by them. Next one, there are health center in the village where apart from doctor and trained nurses, Many other people work in different level. There is a hospital into the villages where apart from doctors, trained nurses and many other people work in different levels to earn the livelihood. Now we are going to study about the cottage industry. This is the famous work into the village area. Home-based industries in villages is called the cottage industry. What is cottage industry? The home-based industries, which is basically found into the village areas, is known as cottage industries. Families use their own equipments. Generally, all family members are involved into the cottage industry. Cottage industry, what is the work of the cottage industry? What is produced by the cottage industries? Cottage industries produce cloths, mats, materials carved from wood, metal, cores, jewelry, embroidery, matchstick, incense sticks, art food or other food items such as pickles. These are the things which are made by the people who are working into the cottage industry. Next one is dairy farming. Dairy farming. What is dairy farming? Dairy farming is another important meaning of the rural livelihood. Into the rural livelihood, dairy farming is also the important mean. In many villages, there are dairy cooperative where villagers sell the milk they produce. Apart from milk, different dairy products such as butter, cheese, paneer and ghee are prepared and sold by the cooperatives in cities all over the country. One of the most significant example of the dairy farming is that transformed the lives of the many villagers, that is the Amul. Amul is a company in India which has transformed many lives into the villages. This one is the chapter 8 of the civics, that is rural livelihood. In the next video, we will read the new chapter of history, civics or geography. Okay, so take care of yourself. Goodbye everyone.